Folks, look it up. It's 18 minutes after 9 o'clock, and joining us in studio this morning from Roswell First Church of the Nazarene, Pastor Nate Bienhoff with us this morning. Morning, sir. How you doing today?
Hey, good morning. It's good to be here with you.
Well, it's glad to have you come into the studio here and join us for a visit, and glad to see things seem like. I know you had some shoes to fill with Pastor Lasher, but things like everything's going great over at the Nazarene Church, and folks are just doing their thing.
Yeah, I definitely have some big shoes to fill, but I'm excited to be here, and thank you for allowing me to be here.
And I know before we talk about Sunday here, I imagine. Yeah, it's been quite because, like everyone else, you all have been dealing with COVID for the last year and a half here. So you were coming to a relatively new home and then get hit with that right afterwards. I imagine it's been quite learning on the fly a little bit here.
It really has. And in fact, there's some that I'm still getting to know at our own church congregation. So I'm excited.
Yeah, because you haven't seen them because church you can't go for a while there. But now we can all go back and things. But thanks to we're finally back at a place we can go to church and do things and I hear we're supposed to open the world up now. I don't know if that's happened yet. I missed the memo whether we did or not, but
that's right.
But on Sunday, you guys are going to have a 4th of July. Don't worry, it's in the morning, so it's not going to mess up your grilling and everything later in the day that you got planned or don't have planned yet. But come on out. You know what? This is what I like is. This is great. You're having an awesome guest speaker that I think to go through what he went through, if God wasn't in his life, he wouldn't be here to tell us about it. I just got that. I don't know his story, but 7.5-year POW in North Vietnam during the Vietnam War. I'm not saying he probably didn't have great experiences during that 7.5 years.
I tell you what, I have heard him speak before, and I am really excited to be able to host him at this event, and I tell you, his story is very compelling.
Was he a pilot or?
He was a pilot, and on September 20th, 1965, he was on a combat search and rescue mission and got shot down. Okay, and that was when he became a prisoner of war for 7.5 years.
Wow,
and so that was a long period of time. I believe he was also a prisoner of war with John McCain as well.
Oh, so he may have chewed some dirt with the senator there too, huh?
Yeah.
Okay, and we all know his story and what he went through, and that journey. So you're gonna hear from an individual who had similar, if not exact same experiences that Senator McCain had here. But getting back to that point, it's that's where faith comes in. This is where the proof of faith comes in. Faith's easy to have when everything's kosher and going well and hunky dory. Faith is you turn to it when times are tough, and I'm guessing that's probably the most daunting thing this gentleman's ever had to face in his life. I mean, being a combat pilot, I'm sure he did, or search and rescue pilot, he probably got into some hot and heavy areas, but I'm sure that 7.5 years he spent as a POW changed him forever.
I tell you what, when the rubber meets the road, it really you're exactly right. It's when you really find out what you're made of.
Yeah.
And this guy, he is great and a very fine man, and I'm excited to hear his story.
Excellent. So so he was a Vietnam. So he's been kind of doing working as a motivational speaker, Christian, spreading the word. Has that kind of been his mission since his time there? Or has he been doing other stuff? Or?
Yes and no. He has written a book about his experience.
Okay.
And he's going to have that there. So
you can pick that up and read and purchase. Probably maybe sign if you'd like.
That, definitely. So. He'll have that there with him, and his story is just so compelling. He really reminds me of how important it is to remember that God is at work in the world and in our lives, and he cares about what we're doing.
If you don't understand the plan, God does, and that's where faith is. You just got to it's God's plan. You do your part in the plan. That's what you do. And that's. But I don't know if we've mentioned it. I know I mentioned it several times this morning. But the gentleman's name is Colonel Thomas J. Curtis. He's a retired colonel. Obviously, it's been a few years since the Vietnam War.
Yeah.
But like you said, he was a rescue pilot, Vietnam, shot down on a mission, spent 7.5 years. Think about that. That's a high school career, almost a high school and a so just younger folks. Your whole time in middle school and high school, this guy was sitting in a POW camp.
Yeah, that's not like 24 hours. That's 7.5 years.
Yes.
It's a very long time.
Yes. I mean, you put them into perspective. You've gone through about half of your schooling career, and this gentleman was sitting in a POW camp through that whole time. And I'm guessing he's a young man, being a pilot. He's probably in his 20s at the time that this was going on. I don't know if his family life, but family, I mean, just think of all the things in his life that's not happening in that 7.5 years and that he's away from.
It's a crazy thought to think about that.
Yeah.
It's something else.
It's just to put that in perspective a little bit. So,
well, and he talks about his experience too and what he had to do mentally to get through that period of time.
Yeah.
He didn't know what was going to happen the next day.
Well, you got to prepare yourself. And I've never been in any shape or form or situation, thank God, in that. But my time in the military, things we do have trainings and things when you have to deal with these kinds of scenarios. I would like to think I could do it, but I don't know, man. I don't know if I could do it. I mean, I think they could. At some point, you're going to break. It's 24/7 and I don't know exactly his experiences, but just from stories from others and through documentaries and television and things, you see the lifestyle that these prisoners of war lived in during the Vietnam War, and little tiny cages, mud huts, pitting them against each other to survive. Just gruesome, heinous humanitarian acts that were done on these folks.
Yeah, and sometimes you wonder how they even make it through.
Yeah.
I mean, when you hear his story, you go, wow.
Yeah.
It's a phenomenal story.
Yeah, it's a mind game. It really, I mean, you could throw all the physical side out the window, and it doesn't compare to the mental side of that part.
Right.
It is what it is. So, I would love to see everybody come on out. Obviously, it's free, doesn't cost you anything. 10:45 is that when he speaks? Is that when the service starts?
The service begins at that point.
Okay.
We're really celebrating Independence Day.
Yeah,
and what a blessing it really will be to have him as part of our service.
Yeah.
Day. And we're excited about honoring him as well as all those who have fought for our freedom.
Absolutely. Well, he's an awesome reminder of why we celebrate Independence Day. This gentleman and many, many people before him have paid the ultimate sacrifice to, he didn't pay but you know what I mean. They given of themselves to make sure that we can sit here and grill burgers and go to church and shoot off fireworks and do all the things that we love to do as Americans.
Yeah.
These individuals have made sacrifices above and beyond for the greater good of us. And that's what we celebrate God, but we celebrate these people that God gave us to help us to get here too. So.
Right. Yeah. It's a real blessing to be able to honor people like this and people that have served our country. In
a world where we're getting spotlighted with people that have needs versus wanting to give. And what I mean by that, I'm not trying to, but we got in a world where we're all about us, and I don't care how it impacts you as long as I'm taken care of. That's a mindset that I think we've kind of adopted in this day and age, and we need more of this in the world to remind folks, no, that's the downfall of us. If we get this mindset, we're not going to have a lot of 4th of Julys left to celebrate, because we're not going to be what we are. We all need to do our part. We all need to, sacrifice a little for the greater good here. All of us need to do that. And I think days like this remind us of that, and gentlemen like this will remind us of that.
Yeah, it's really all about honoring others, and not thinking of ourselves necessarily, but honoring others and thanking them for their service to our country. And it's a blessing to be able to be a part of that.
And by the way, if you're a family looking for a new church home, or maybe you're new to town here, come on down to the First Church of the Nazarene, and maybe make this your first service. Meet some of the family, and meet and see learn more about the different services and different opportunities that you can get closer to God with the First Church of the Nazarene. It's because I know you guys are throughout the year, you're constantly doing events and things. I know probably one of the bigger ones that the Nazarene's known for is your 9/11 first responders. On the 9/11 day, you guys have a big get together, the blessing of the vehicles, and lots of meats and foods eating, and it's just a celebration and a thank you. But you guys do much more than that. But that's just one I think the public kind of, oh yeah, you're the first responder 9/11 guys, like Kiwanis, you're the pancake guy, everyone knows that's what you guys are.
Yeah, well, I tell you, during this year of COVID, it's been nuts, and I thought to myself, how can I be a part of this community? I'm still learning about this community, and
it makes it a lot harder when you can't go anywhere and meet none of the community.
It was really challenging. But
so they're like, well, I know God. I'm going to learn you guys. I promise.
Well, it's been tough, but I tell you, I'm grateful. I don't like to sit around long.
Sure.
I got plugged into this community.
Well, I would imagine, knowing the folks that are part of the Nazarene family, they probably welcomed you in with open arms and set you up as best they could to get you kind of settled in and familiar with everybody as much as we could in a world where we couldn't do that. So.
And that was a real blessing because my family and I were not from New Mexico.
Where are you from originally, just curiosity?
I grew up in Northern California, and my wife grew up in Florida.
Oh, wow.
And we met in Missouri. So
wow, met in the middle.
Yeah.
So you're so like San Francisco area? I'm not too familiar.
Actually farther north, up in a little town called city called Orland, Northern California, above Sacramento.
Now, I don't have a lot of experience in California, but they say Northerns were the normal people. Is that kind of true, or I have no idea?
Well, there's a little bit of crazy in all of us, just saying.
Okay. What part of Florida is your wife from?
She's from Venice.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Excellent. Yeah, I'm from Maryland, D.C. area originally.
Yeah.
That's why I got all the Washington Capitals and Mexican stuff back
great
here.
place.
But I ended up here too. But so Missouri, huh? St. Louis or just?
Well, we met in Joplin, Missouri.
Okay.
So
sorry. Only joke I have about misery is the misery. Go through misery. It's like going through Kansas. Those are not the best states to travel through. Yeah. Whole lot of nothing. You think New Mexico's like nothing? I think they mastered nothing.
Oh man!
Give folks a little bit of just kind of a rundown of your service times and everything, and some of I know your Wednesdays. Just talk about things that people can come and do at the church.
Well, we were just actually just got back on our Wednesday nights again.
Open them back up again.
Yeah, we did, and so we're meeting around 6:30.
Okay.
We provide a meal, and then we have a short Bible study.
Nice.
And then on Sundays we have our regular morning worship service at 10:45.
Yeah, and you all are welcome to come and be a part.
Oh, definitely. Everyone is welcome. And one of the things that I've been really thrilled by is just the hospitality of our people. They've been very kind and very hospitable to us, and welcomed us with open arms.
That's awesome.
And that wasn't just us. That they do that with others too.
That's kind of you come in and want to be a part of us, we'll walk you in with open arms.
Yeah.
And we like and you'll learn more as we're the land of mañana. We're procrastinators. You won't get us to commit to anything to the last minute. We're going to fight you tooth and nail on that, but we'll come through at the end there. And generally when it's time to rally and it's time, that's I think what it is. We're like, I think we're just, and this may be just humanity in general. I just get the feeling it's like I ain't gonna worry about that till tomorrow, and then it's like, oh, we got plenty of time, and then the week or whatever the event hits, like, oh, and then we just run around with our hair on fire trying to get it figured out, and that's I think just naturally how we do it here.
Well, in this community, the little that I know of it has just been a real blessing to get to know, and it's taken some time, but I tell you, it's been a thrill to get to know different people in this community and get to know different organizations, and it's been a blessing.
So just a couple just personal questions I'm curious about. So do you have, prior to coming here, is this first time being in New Mexico or really spending time in New Mexico?
I never ever dreamt I'd ever live in New Mexico. I didn't have a lifelong dream of being here. This is just where God has brought us. Okay.
Well, now I got to ask you a question that we ask all new people. I got the same grills when we came.
Me,
Have you come to enjoy or be a part of our chili our chilies, our green and red chili love here?
That's new. That's
Okay.
new to me,
Okay.
and I'm learning how to do that.
Okay, so you are in the classes learning and,
I'm
and
learning,
understanding.
yes,
You got
yeah.
people when you go to the restaurants. Oh, you get this, don't get that.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
They've been very helpful though, and
Yeah.
that's been great to be a part of that.
Newbie lessons 101 is dabble in green first before you go red.
Okay.
Because generally, now you can get some good hot green.
Yeah.
They'll light you up with it, but generally, not always, but generally the red's a little warmer than the green.
Okay.
But they both have great flavors. So
the red and green I thought that was just Christmas, you know, but then I understood it's different than that.
Yeah. You say Christmas is not just a holiday here. That's a style of Mexican food. But it's to me, and this is, and I don't know if you like spicy food or can. I like spicy food. I'm not the punish me spicy food guy. I'm like, oh yeah, no, pour more hot sauce, and I'm not that guy. But I will tell you this: I'm not a fan of Asian spice because it's kind of in your face right away. Where green chili and Mexican spice in general, the whole palate, is that tasty spice where it gives you time to taste it. Now, after about 6 bites into that relleno or menudo or whatever you're eating, your mouth's on fire. But you know, it's got a chili with a taste. Like jalapenos, I like, but green chili or red chili is way more flavorful than that, in my opinion.
The little experience that I've had with it really has been, and I can't do real hot. My body can't take the heat, you know. But
I would introduce yourself to green chili on non-Mexican things. Like I start with the burger.
Sure.
Get you green chili cheeseburger. That's a great way to kind of introduce yourself because you got some familiarity there. You're like, I know a burger. You know? But the green chili, you think of it and you're like, okay. Now I get it. It with the cheese and the meat and the whatever else you put on that burger, it adds to that flavor. You know?
That's one of the things I love about living in a different place. Is,
it just got shorter.
Living in a different place is you get to start all over again.
Yeah,
and try new things, and I'm not opposed to doing that.
Yeah,
you know,
you get some really go hit these, especially if you get some weekends now that we're opening the world back up here and things. I hope you get a chance to go out and explore some of our outside of the Roswell area. Go, Lincoln's a great place if you love history. And Billy the Kid.
That is. Yeah.
Ruidosa's beautiful place. They got places to spend money if you want to. They got horses and gambling and stuff. But if the scene, the beauty up there is great. Carlsbad, you got to make the trip down there and go see. Go to the mountains. So now hopefully you get a chance to do some of that stuff.
Well, I'm really excited to be able to begin to explore a little bit and get around a little bit and get to learn some of those.
And if you want real New Mexican food, just hit these mom and pop Mexican places.
Those are my favorites.
Those are legit New Mexico cuisine. And what's going to happen is you're going to go to Texas now and have some Mexican food, and you're like,
not the same.
You guys stink. You guys don't know what you're doing. Go back to New Mexico. They really. I was that guy. I grew up Tex-Mex and all that. I came here and like, oh, this is New Mexico cuisine. It's still even different than Mexico. I've been down to Mexico and it's closer. Like New Mexico, to me, cuisine is closer to Mexican Mexico than Tex-Mex is.
Well, I'm excited
but it's
about
different.
that. And actually, we had a lot of really good Mexican food from where I grew up.
Yeah.
And so I'm really thrilled to be able to get to try all
So
that.
California, up northern, is that still seafood country or is that more south?
No, that's more south.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you get more like foods we have here and all this. See, I grew up in Maryland. Crabs, that's a staple. We had every summer you get crabs, and so I'm one of those people that love eating crabs. Most people that aren't born on or bred on that a little bit, they like crab meat. They don't like the work of picking and doing it, so they don't understand it. You sat there for 4 hours picking crabs to eat enough to eat. I'm like, but it's a social thing,
It really is.
Yeah.
And my wife, being from Florida, they had a lot of
they know all
seafood
about the crabs.
Oh, yeah, they do. Yeah. They do. They know
it's a
all
social
about that.
thing. So, trust me, New Mexicans, you'll love it once you try it. Give it a try. But anyway, please, this Sunday, July 4th, 1045, First Church of Nazarene on Sycamore, 501 North Sycamore. It's over there by Champion Motorsports and that end over by the park that they do.
Enchanted
Hills Park. Thank you. They do the Frisbee golf over there.
It was a lake earlier. So I don't know.
I don't know if they'll be available for disc golf this weekend, but come on out to the beautiful facility there. Again, come see retired Colonel Thomas J. Curtis. He was a POW in Vietnam. for 7.5 years, and he's going to share his story, his testimony. And I'm telling you, this is I'm sure what he's going to tell you, it's going to be some stuff you're like, wow, I can't believe that, but it's so inspiring. And because you listen, you're like, what an amazing individual, and you're like, wow, and then you start putting yourself in those shoes. Could I do what this person did? I mean, we all do the same thing here, but I think it's going to give you an appreciation of God more and understand,
definitely.
because at the end of the day, I don't think this man or any other man could have done what he did without God in his corner.
That's right.
And that I'm convinced that it's kind of like, I was talking with Tanner earlier, and they were, of course, they're talking about the building collapse in Miami there, and they're still hopeful survivors. And I said, I gotta be honest, unless God's in on this one, which I'm sure he is, they're not going, because any person you find alive at this point is a miracle, and there's no other explanation for it at this point. So I hope I'm wrong and we find a few miracles, but we got to be honest, and this is God gives us the strength to get to these moments.
That's right,
and that's what this is. There's a lesson in here, is whatever adversity that you're going to have in your life, and you're going to have some. If you don't, you need to buy some lottery, or you're the luckiest person on the planet.
I tell you, I really look at every single person I meet really as a miracle.
Yeah.
I mean, that they're even alive and that they're able to do the things they do. Every person in front of me is a blessing from God.
Yeah.
And so I'm really grateful for that. One of the other things that we haven't really hit is we also have our choir is going to be doing the
the Roswell Nazarene choir will be performing as well, and they do a beautiful job of setting the tone and say, "I did. You're right. I undercut the opening act. Sorry about that."
No, not at all. Actually,
it's all
really
me, because they're very talented individuals, and I don't want to diminish what they do. It's awesome what they do.
And not at all. I'm excited because not a lot of churches have choirs anymore. And it's exciting to me to be able to be a part of that as well.
Yeah.
And to have that as a part of that service as well.
So hey, I'm just thinking, if you're looking for a church home and you love singing, and like you said, the choirs and things are taking back burners and a lot of services and things now. Come on down, First Church of the Nazarene. Always could add a few voices to the choir, so the more the merrier.
Yeah.
And I bet they eat good.
Oh,
I mean, I've never met a choir that don't know about eating.
Hey, we do like good food.
That's the beauty of church.
Oh,
you get closer to God and you get fatter in church. I'm sorry, because everything's so around food, and if you're on a diet, church is not your friend sometimes. But you're gonna need more strength from God. Like, God, please don't let me eat that lasagna that guy brought.
Oh, man.
But it is a great opportunity.
Yeah, it's going to be it's going to be a great day. And I just think hearing this guy is just going to really be inspiring and a blessing to everybody that comes.
Yeah, so get there a few minutes early. Services will start at 10:45. Get there a few minutes early to get you a good seat and everything there. If you want to learn more about the church this event and everything that the church does, you can go online. It's www.ros1naz.org. ros1naz.org is the website, but it's ros1naz.org. And if you don't remember any of that, Google First Church of Nazarene Roswell. It'll pop right up. And Facebook as well. You guys have Facebook. And is that probably the best way to communicate now, or can they call the church office?
They can call the church office, but the online is the best way to communicate.
Gotcha.
Social media is also a way that we're using to live stream our services, that kind of thing as well.
Just if you're on Facebook or whatever, just search in the search bar First Church of the Nazarene Roswell, NM probably. I'm not sure if Georgia has a First Church of the Nazarene. You'll learn that pretty quickly once you're here long enough. There's a Roswell, Georgia, and we get confused with each other. They're probably tired of looking at alien stuff, and we're like, go ahead. And the funny part, it's a quick story. Years ago, I had accidentally followed the Roswell Police Department in Georgia. I had ours followed, but I guess I saw it as a suggestion. I was like, I thought I already liked it, and clicked it, not thinking about it. Then one day I'm going through my wall, and it was during one of the hurricanes or something that was going on there, and they were doing all kinds of alerts. I'm like, why are they giving me alerts to the hurricane? And I was like, oh, this is the Georgia one. I should unfriend that one. But yeah, I had it for months. Didn't even think until I got a notice about a hurricane. Wow. And I was like, I'm following the wrong police department.
You're getting all kinds of information.
So yeah, do put the NM when you do your searches for First Church of the Nazarene. And of course, come on out 10:45 every Sunday morning. And what time on Wednesdays?
On around 6:30.
Come and come hungry because they do a meal. And then, but if you'd like to be a part of the Bible study, and those are great because let's face it, you trying to read the Bible by yourself, unless you've spent tons of time studying and analyzing it, it can be an intimidating piece of documents to understand and get. And let's face it, being one of the oldest books in the world, it's had a time or two of people going through it and getting their opinions and all of that stuff. So that's why Bible study is great, because now it's like book club. Right. Like you have book club, but it's the whole thing, and you spend a whole time. Hey, we're just going to be talking about this today, but you read it and get an interpretation. Someone else may read it and get a different interpretation, and that's where Bible. And I'm not saying both of you are right or wrong. Sometimes it's just the matter of what you think that message means and how it is, and now obviously if it's telling you bad things, you probably missed the message. But what I mean is, and that's I mean, put it this way: there have been scholars that are way smarter than you and me and everybody else put together, that spent their entire lives studying and still didn't come up with all the answers.
That's true.
So
That's exactly true.
Please, it's an intimidating thing. Coming to Bible study is a way to help understand it better together. And it doesn't matter if you're a genius or you're like, I don't know my left from right here. It doesn't matter. We can all get together.
And coming together as a part of a church family is also a big deal. In fact, that's almost a lost art of coming together and being part of a community where you care about each other over and above anything else. You are a part of each other's lives.
Well, and that's and that's why when we look at COVID now, it's so difficult because we are a social creature. That's just what we are. And we all, despite and I'm a lonery type too, but despite the most lonely loner of people, you still need other people to navigate life. You just do. And God teaches us, we're all brothers and sisters. We're all human beings. We all have to share this earth together. We're not going to agree on everything or anything, but we can still be human to each other. We can still be good people to each other despite our differences and disagreements.
Well, and that's something as well that technology really can't replace. That human interaction. We are so grateful for the technology that's out there and available because
it's better than nothing.
Oh man, I tell you what a blessing it is to have it. Especially during this past year of COVID.
And I think, to be honest, we're going to come out better after all said and done on this. Because we're going to able to integrate the best of the technology with the best of why we do things in person and all of that, and we'll kind of get that, and it'll take a couple years for us to kind of find the groove for that kind of stuff, I think. But
I really agree with that 100%. I really think that COVID is going to be a huge blessing to many people. Because
again, it's God's plan. We don't understand it all the time, but we just follow the path. That's what we do. So, and start by coming out this to 4th of July here. I think even if you have a church home and things, I think anytime you get an opportunity to listen to an individual that's done some great things for us and are great. I mean, let's come out, be a part of it. Come listen. It's 10:45. It's free. It's church service. Come on out, celebrate God with us. Hear the Church of the Roswell One Naz Choir. Come on out and enjoy their great music. Maybe be recruited if you want. They're always looking for good singers. And then of course come and hear and like I said, if he's going to have some of his books, if you'd like to purchase, sign the books, all of that. If you hear his story and you're like, oh, that whet my appetite, I would like to hear the more of his story. His book will be there, and hopefully it gives you the motivation and inspiration that it's intended.
Well, thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to share a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely. Again, folks want more information, log to the website, www.ros1naz.org. ros1naz.org. You can also look for First Church of the Nazarene, Roswell, NM, on Facebook as well, if you want to go. And the service on Sunday, are they streaming there too, or is that in person? Okay.
Yes, they are live streaming the service.
Okay.
They're doing that on Facebook and
so
YouTube.
if you can't go, then please stream in. However, if you are able and willing, come on out and meet some people. Now, if you don't feel comfortable, fine, stay home.
Totally.
Separate. Do what you is best for your family.
That's right.
No one's going to give you a gruff about that.
That's right.
But we'd love to have you participate whatever way you feel comfortable with.
Definitely.
Absolutely. Pastors, anything we missed? Anything we wanted to share that I just got sidetracked on?
I think you've been great, and you've been very thorough, and it's just been a blessing to be able to be a part of
I'm glad
what you're doing here. And it's
well,
good to
now
meet
that the world's open up, come on in from time to time and talk to us and let us know what your congregation's doing and what's going on, and we'd love to have that. And of course, as the world opens up, we'll have more and more events and more opportunities for folks to celebrate God and to become closer to God.
Yeah.
So awesome.
That's great.
Well, thank you, sir. We'll see you. We'll see you again soon. And go chili. Go and then you know what else is another good way? Breakfast burritos.
Oh, now you're talking my.
That's where you go get chili and those breakfast burritos. That's the best way to get and I'd introduce yourself to Red. That way. Now, have you been to Blake's Lottaburger yet?
I have.
Okay. Have you had their breakfast burritos?
No, I have not.
They go red on theirs. They're really good. They're tasty, but sometimes they'll smack you in the mouth because they got a little heat to them. So
sounds like that's something I got to try.
But they are on point. They do sausage, and they have chicken sandwiches too. I've never tried one because I'm like, why would I? I get the green chili cheeseburger, I get the burrito, but one of these days I'm going to get a chicken sandwich from there.
Well, I tell you what, it's okay to try some new things now and then.
I will do it. It's there's certain places like if you ever go to San Antonio, New Mexico, it's on I-25 if you're going towards Albuquerque there.
Okay.
It's where you get on the interstate if you went that way to go to Albuquerque.
Okay.
They have a little town called San Antonio. It's right there on the interstate. They have 2 bar restaurants. The Owl Bar, and then I can't remember the name of the other one, was right across the street. It's just a dive bar thing, but they have like the best green chili cheeseburgers in the state. And I've been told the one across the street is as good or not better, but I've never gone in there because every time in San Antonio, I'm like, I got to go to the Owl Bar because that's what we do. And they sell steaks and stuff. Never had one. Wouldn't know what it's like because every time I've gone in there, I get the green chili cheeseburger.
Well, you can't go wrong with that. So.
Yeah. But if you, and some will argue, but in the conversation is best green chili cheeseburgers in the entire state, the Owl Bar is that place. There's some people argue and say, no, it's this place here or this, but they're all in that conversation. And to be honest, it depending on the day of the week, I'm like, no, that's the best one, but they're all pretty darn good. So you're good. So I think, and then of course, I'm sure there's plenty of people in the congregation that can help you up with some green chili dishes and recipes.
I tell you what, they've been giving me all kinds of suggestions, and
you're probably tired of it at this point.
Too.
He's probably, all right, I get it. I get green chili. I promise. Just shut up. Well, here in the fall. August time frame.
Yeah,
that's around chili season. They'll start roasting. You go to the grocery stores.
Yeah, I've seen those around
and that's the smell of fall here in New Mexico. And then hit them out there. Grace Farm. If you ever take your family out there, you can go out there to the produce store now. Go and get great produce. But in the fall, when the green chilies are out and about, it's just what we do here.
Wow, that's really cool. Yeah, every place that we've ever lived had certain things that were special, And
well, hopefully this fall you'll get to see it in its full blossom, and we're not, locked down and everything else.
Yeah, so. It's definitely been a unique year this past year.
You can't go to a grocery store in August or September without smelling roasting green chilies. It's just you walk by, oh, there they are.
There they are.
Because they're all got their roasters and they're just going. It's advertising. I mean,
definitely.
You don't need to tell people you got chili. You just fire that sucker up and people come.
Well, it's good though.
Yes.
It's good though. That's why
all you
people
need.
keep coming back.
That's right. That's all you need. But Pastor, appreciate the visit. We'll let you get back and take care of business here, and have a happy, awesome 4th weekend. And we'll see you again soon.
You too. Thank you so much.
All right. Take care. It is